Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're not subscribed, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the bell notification button so you can know when my videos drop. This video might be at a weird angle, but please rock with it. This is just my setup for right now. I had a lot of things to talk about, but I was a little reserved and nervous because usually when you talk about clairvoyant instances, people be like, oh, here it go, this crazy girl, or I don't believe it, or she trying to get clout. And trust me, I am too shy to try to get any type of extra clout. I am really kind of skeptical about sharing this because I don't want people to think, I'm crazy, but it's real life, is what's been happening. So for example, like if I hear a song, or if I think in my head, man, I need to hear a song from somebody, I will listen to the song and then I will find out some information or something about them, and I'm like, how did I know? Like, how did I know to listen to this person's song? How did I know? You know what I mean? So for example, one day, it was a Saturday, I wanted to listen to Hurricane Chris, a baby. I don't know why, I was just in it and I was just like, I gotta listen to it. So I listened to it, whatever, and then I'm scrolling on Facebook and I see that he's being booked on car theft and a murder charge. Like how like, that was crazy. It was weird, but I just chopped it up to it being like, a coincidence, right? So I kid you not, maybe an hour later, I'm listening to the bounce mix of Tonight by John Legend, right? And then I hear somebody go down the street, like they listen to the original version, like, and I'm just like, how would they know that? Like what's that about? And then I'm just like, you know what? I'm tripping. It could be a coincidence. Like it doesn't really mean anything, Fast forward to Halloween night. I come home, I'm hanging out with my cousin, my sister, like we all in there. Like, you all seen the Halloween video. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's a really good video. It's one of my favorites that I've uploaded because it's just so real, and we had a really good time. It was no drama. It was just us. We was, eating caramel apples, chicken wings, talking about life, and we did a podcast that night, and it was just a good vibe, like, incense burning, candles lit. And all of a sudden we go outside to take a picture, and the three of us, it was my sister Lisa and my cousin Keisha, and we was like, okay, we're gonna take, because we were witches that night, we're gonna take a picture. So we took a picture. When I initially went outside, it wasn't that cold. But then when we take the picture, I just get a cold feeling, like a really cold. I run in the house, like I'm just like, I'm looking at this moon, like, because we went to take a picture with the moon in the background. I'm looking at it, and something about it is so eerie. Like, it just draws you in. You want to see it. But it was something like I don't want to say sacrificial moon, but it was something like, watch out. You're having a great time, but watch out. So I was nervous kind of the whole night. I had like a little, and you know how you have in the back of your mind like a nervous energy. So I was just like, okay, we getting it, but we all better go back in this house because my energy is like, radar is going crazy, right? Okay, so it's time for me. Like, I'm ready to go home. I'm tipsy, but I'm like, okay. And my cousin Colin, he took me home, aka Monster Swag, right? And I have to say this part because he put me on to listening to an album all the way through. Yes, I was one of them people that listened to like the mainstream pop single, because back in the day, you go to Sam Goody, you get you a little single. It cost $3, but you didn't have to buy the whole album. You can enjoy your favorite song over and over again. So those was the days. But anyway, yeah, he put me on, and usually when we riding in the car together, he got some Mac Miller on, he got some Big Sean. And so because I was listening to those artists, like I would venture out, and then I believe back in the day I started listening to Kendrick, and then I got into battle rap. So like, yeah, he he really that's my heart, like in the rap game, put me on to lyrics and listening to albums all the way through. But anyway, so we get in the car, and guess who he got on the radio, on his on the car thing. King Von. And my cousin ain't never listened to no, I don't even know what type of artist, and I'm not gonna stereotype him, but in my mind, I think he's closer to a drill artist or somebody like that. So I'm like, but my cousin don't listen to, like, he'll listen to that on his own, but when we ride, and it's mostly like Childish Gambino, you know what I mean? Like, it's not no artist like that. And I was feeling it. Like, I was like, okay, this King Von, that's what's up. But it was so eerie that, you know what I'm saying, that he would pass away like a couple days later, because it was like I felt something off about the energy. And I don't want to say I knew that he was gonna, you know, because you never know, but he had a lot of energy around him, like, and I made that correlation, and I don't know how to feel about that. But, you know, and I don't want people to think I'm crazy. They're like, how would you know? She's trying to get clout. Like I said, it's clout that I really don't even want. So don't do me. And it didn't stop there, okay? So after that, that night I also showed y'all Jimmy and the girls talking about, you know, how we communicate when we have disagreements. And I felt like it was very important. Like, I also felt this strong feeling to showcase, you know, us black people conversing with each other, and it don't have to be like, you know, cuss somebody out. It don't have to be a conflict with each other, you know. And my granddad, his story, he was talking about how, you know, he didn't really face Jim Crow issues, but I know for a fact that Jim Crow issues were going on. But this was just his story. But I was just showing somebody who did have a positive experience in life, but also I am aware that, you know, things was going on. So some people was kind of like, you know, feeling some way. If you were feeling a way, everybody had, you know, good positive reception to the video, but I'm happy about that. But I just wanted to make that clear that that was also my energy when I was at home, was to show people getting along. And because I was feeling this energy of, you know, of almost like something being attacked, you know what I mean? And I'll get to that in a minute. What's also crazy about that, the correlation between my cousin listening to King Von, is because the day that he passed away like 3-something a.m. in the morning on a Friday. I also saw my cousin that Friday, and he didn't even know. I don't know if he knew right then and there, but he was like, what? Like, you know, and that wasn't like the end of it. It was like my stomach would hurt when something was going wrong, and I couldn't put my finger on it, because I'm like, nothing around me is going wrong, so why do I feel sick to my stomach, like on my hands and knees, like my stomach feels really bad, what should I do? And I was drinking like ginger ale and taking like stomach medicine, and it wasn't happening, like nothing was resolving the issue. So I'm like, what's going on? Trigger warning, do not look up the story unless you're ready to see his autopsy photo. But Quan Charles was a young 15-year-old that was found in a field in Louisiana. And his story, I didn't know nothing about his story until I was scrolling. And I also have a blog post in my A Tribe Called Black website that we have. It's down in my description box below. But yeah, it was a horrible story, and I saw the autopsy photo while I'm scrolling on Instagram. Can you just imagine, like, your phone be like right here, and I'm scrolling down and I see this poor child's like lifeless body, and it looks horrible, and I'm just, you know, I cried. I literally cried that night, and that was the night before we found out that Biden won, as you can read in the blog post. But I'm just like, what's going on? It's like highs and lows, highs and lows. It's like that's exactly what this whole year has been about, highs and lows, and I can't shake it. I don't know what it is, but my stomach, like, I feel what's going on, and it feels supernatural almost, you know. But at the same time, you know, I stay prayed up and stay, you know, stay on good terms, you know, do right by people. I literally was bawling, crying, because I found out that somebody wasn't my friend. Like, but it was almost like, you know how you you show love to somebody and they don't reciprocate it, and I'm like, but you my, I thought you was my homie, thought we was cool. And it's like, it's not like that. So I was literally crying. Like, my sister was looking at me like, is you done? Because we got Heal and Hydrate products to make. So it's like, while I was at home, I was feeling everything. And I always get that when I come home. And I was just thinking, does anybody else feel this way? Like, is it the empath in me? Is it something more than that? So when I was at home, it was just crazy. And ever since I came home, I haven't been able to get a good night's rest. I cannot go to sleep before 3 a.m. You know what I mean? Another thing that me and my sisters were all talking about is the fact that how we were raised was to be thoughtful of other people. So if anybody can say anything about me, like, I don't care about that. But one thing somebody can't say is that I'm not a thoughtful person. Like, if I care about you, I'm gonna make sure you straight. If I have it, you got it. It's no type of, with me, like, I'm not weird like that. So a lot of times we don't realize that that's a rarity. People are mostly thinking about themselves, which, if you look at a lot of successful people, they think about themselves. So that's why they make sure their cars are in order. It's not a bad thing, but for me, it's like, life is hard. Life is rough. It gets crazy. So the best thing you can try to do, in my opinion, is try to have good moments, in life. And if I can do something nice for somebody and give them a moment throughout all the BS and stuff that they have to deal with on a daily basis, like, that's what I want to do. I want somebody, like, get somebody a donut and some coffee one morning. You never know what somebody is going through. So I feel like if somebody has a moment where they're like, oh my God, like, I got all these bills piling up, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I got this donut right now. I got, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be a donut, but it's like, to alleviate the stress for a second. It's okay, like, for positive things, like, it shows people that you care. And I just, like, want, not crazy, because it's easy to be taken advantage of. It's easy for people to see that as a weakness, and then be scammed and all types of stuff. So you have to really pay attention to who and what you're doing it for. But people just treat you like they tolerating you. Bye. Make room for people that actually care about you. Like, sometimes you just have to let it go. And I think that's why I was, that's why I was crying, because it's just like, that you can't be their friend anymore. Like, you just have to let it go, because they obviously not losing no sleep. And then I watched this movie Spell with my mom, and we was like, oh my God, like, I don't know if anybody else feels this way, but I feel like in touch with spirituality, not necessarily voodoo, but like more in tune with the earth. Well, I feel like spirituality is a little bit more flexible. And I'm not saying you get to believe in this, you get to pick and choose, and you don't have to commit to anything. It's more of so just like the freedom of growing, and you don't feel so restricted. Like, I feel like sometimes when I do go to church, it feels like a cult, for the simple fact that do as I say, you know what I mean? Like, and a lot of people in church, it just seemed like it's the most evilest people I've met are church goers. And I'm not trying to say, like, because you believe in Christ, I'm just saying, like, their character is awful. And it's just something that I don't too much care for. So I rather, like, have my spirituality, do right by the people around me, pray at night. My cousin got me a good book, and it's After the Rain. It's about self-healing and stuff of that nature. I like stuff like this because it has more logic in it, and it's more comforting to have my relationship with God, and to read positive things, and not go to church and be judged for my wardrobe, be judged for who who I know, what I've done. It's just whack. So yeah, that's the way I roll. But that's all I have for today. I want this video to be longer, and please put your comments in the comment section. Let me know, give me some feedback on how you feel, because I don't want to feel alone in this whatever I'm feeling. I want to connect with y'all and see if y'all felt this at all too, because it can't just be me. I refuse to believe that it's just me feeling this way, or had these experiences. It's just crazy, you know what I mean?